Hey guys, Savage River coming back for another video. So the topic of today is if you're young or you're even in your mid 20s, early 30s, and you don't exactly know what you want to do, like you want to change something, you're not where you want to be. A good option is to go and join the trades. The trades right now need men. It's really hard to find enough labor. Like there's so much work out here. It's hard to find enough people to be able to work and quality workers. Because of the colleges, many people have been going to colleges and they haven't been going into the trades. So there is a shortage of reliable men or women to be in the trades. One of the great things about being in a trade is as you learn the trade, you don't start off making a ton of money, but you do get the ability to learn a skill that can't be taken away from you. And one of the things that always is going to happen, it doesn't matter during a recession, it doesn't matter if times are good or times are bad. It doesn't matter when it comes to technology. There will always be needs for electricians, plumbers, masons, cement workers, like cement finishers, concrete guys. When it comes down to being a skilled trade, because it's skilled, you get paid a good wage. Now, if you're down in the South, the trades are a little bit different. Up in the North and the West, trades are from what I hear better. I've never worked down South, so I couldn't tell you. But like for example, here in Ohio, if you're a taper working for the union, you make like $32 an hour. If you're a concrete guy, you're making in the 30s an hour. If you're an electrician, you're making $40 an hour. If you're a plumber, you're in the 30s, making somewhere in the 30s. You get a pension, you get benefits, you get a 401k, especially if you're union. Now, if you work for a non-union company, they have 401ks and stuff like that. They don't really have pensions. But if you're lost and you're not exactly sure what to be doing next or where you can go or any of these sort of things, look in if you got laid off from your job or your job downsized because of the COOF pandemic, look into going into a trade. There are plenty of jobs that are out there right now. When you start off in the trade, you don't make minimum wage, so you're not making minimum wage, you're making above minimum wage. And with time and experience, you make more money. If you're an electrician and you get into the apprenticeship, you start off here in Ohio and Cleveland, you start off at like $12.50 an hour. Within your first year, you're at like $15 an hour. And by the time you get to like your fourth year, when you become I think it's a fourth year or fifth year, you're in the 20s. When you go from being a fifth year apprentice to a journeyman, you get a $12 raise. You go up to $40 an hour. And when you learn a trade, you're able to actually do work for yourself. You can do stuff on the side, which will help offset your income. So once you learn a trade, you can never lose the trade. And it's just good to know how to fix things, especially if you plan on buying a house or owning a house. Learning trade and being around other guys that are in the trades, you'll learn how to fix stuff in your own house, which a lot of men these days don't know how to fix stuff like that. That is a dying art. Back in the day when you were a man and you had a house, you had to know how to do, you had to fix it yourself. That's how it went. That's definitely how you went. And a good thing for guys in the trades, a lot of guys in the trades end up owning rental properties and renting them out and doing the work on their house themselves. So a good way, if you're trying to get into the middle class, a good way to do that is to get into the trades because, like I said, I've said it many times in other streams and other videos that if you're a union electrician in Cleveland, you're making base pay of 80K a year. So as you can see, it's not too hard. It's not too hard to have a decent living with that. And if you're able to make like 80K a year base pay, then it's going to open up money to be able to put into properties or into a business or into stocks. And once you get a decent amount of capital, you can actually start using your money to benefit you in the long term. A lot of people that are rich use their money to gain money off their money. Most people that are like millionaires have a millionaire has at least 6 sources of income coming in. Now, obviously, like, hey, what's up, Cortez? Now, obviously, like if you're an actor and stuff, your main income is going to be acting, or being a rapper is going to be a rapper. But they take that money and they use that money to go into other things. But it's the same thing as if you're an electrician or you're a plumber or you're an HVAC guy. If you're any of these types of trades, once you start getting some money, you can start opening other businesses. You can get rental properties. Like rental properties are a good source of income because if you have 4 or 5 rental properties, and let's just say on average they're bringing you in $800 a month. If you have 5 rental properties and you're getting $800 a month, that's $4,000 a month that's coming in. So if you buy, like here in Cleveland, we have a lot of double houses that are doubles. If you have two apartments in a house and combined, they're bringing in $900 to $1,200 a month, and you have 4 of those. If you're bringing in $1,200 a month from each property, after you take out repairs and taxes, roughly $5,000 a year, or $5,000 a month in a year, you're at about, $60,000. You're at about $60,000 a year, and let's just say out of all of your expenses, you're spending $20,000 a year in taxes and $20,000 on taxes and upkeep. That's still $40,000 a year of income. And when you're fixing the stuff in these houses, if you're in the trades, it makes it easier to diminish the cost that you're going to have. So any young guys that are watching this video, or any guys that are looking to change up careers or not exactly sure what they want to do, looking to getting into the trades. I actually, the other day, went down to, there's a city down like where I'm from. There's a city, and there was a guy that's been there for like my entire life. I don't remember the store not being here, but he's a cobbler. For those that don't know, cobblers are people that make shoes. They make, repair, they fix. They do all the great stuff when it comes to a shoe. Back in the day, you used to have a person that had to make shoes because they didn't have machines. Nike wasn't around. So I went down to his store, and this man's 70 years old, and he's still a cobbler. And being a cobbler is a dying art here in the United States. Like, there's not a lot of cobblers around. And he was telling me that in order for a cobbler to make money to survive, they have to also sell shoes, like retail shoes. So like when I went there, they had like Red Wings, and they had all the name brand good work boots there that they sell, and they do repairs on those boots and they fix stuff. Because just because he was in the trades, and just because the man's 70 years old and he has an apprentice that he's keeping on the actual the tradition of being a cobbler or a cobbler. I bought a pair of boots from him. And I gave him a pair of boots and asked him to resole them. Because, like I said, getting into a trade, when you're in a trade, you definitely respect another person's trade. Like, it's the same thing with being a barber. A barber is a skilled trade. Maybe you're not into going out and doing cement work or doing any sort of manual labor. Go to barber school, become a barber. Like as a barber, you can open your own shop. You can work for a person that has a chair, and you pay rent every week or every month. I'm not exactly sure if it's. I've never been a barber, so I don't know if it's by week or by month. But they're charging $20 to $30 a haircut. If you get 5 people a day at $20, it's $100 a day. And a haircut takes what, 35 minutes, 40 minutes? You're not doing a bunch of physical labor. But if you're able to build up your own clientele and you out there to hustle, you can easily increase your income. It's based like being in a trade, you're able to set how much money you want. When you learn this skill, you can determine if you want to be middle class or if you want to grind harder and make more money. So the reason that I'm doing this stream was because my birthday was last week. I turned 32, and for my birthday, my sister ended up giving me some gift cards for Duluth trading company. And after work, I went up to Duluth and was looking through their stuff, and I cannot tell you the feel, like how much of a great feeling it is to go to a store that is tailored for people in the trades and guys that go out and get it and do physical labor and have like Carhartt. I love Carhartt. I cannot tell you how great of a feeling it is to go to like Carhartt or Duluth or Red Wing and buy something that I need for what I'm going to use at work. Like I maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because before I became sober and before I was in the trades, I was lost and wasn't doing anything with my life. And now that I'm in the trades and I go and spend money on like work boots and jeans to work in, I guess it gives me some manly nostalgia or makes me feel like a man. I couldn't tell you, but I do find it very, very important that the trades are dying. Like, they're not dying in the sense that like there's no work. They're dying because there's not an interest in younger people that want to get into these trades and learn these skills. Like right now in Cleveland, the Carpenters Union, they are having so much trouble getting young guys that want to work. Like since I've been like just in the last year, I've seen like 5 or 6, 7 guys that started in the electrical trade with me. And after a week or two, they quit and they don't want to do it. So there is a very small amount of guys that are coming into the trades fresh that are keeping this stuff going. And building is only going to keep increasing. You got to understand that when it comes to remodeling houses, someone needs to be able to do that. When it comes to building high rises for the bigger populations, there's going to have to be someone that does it. You're always going to need people that can build buildings and build roads and build hospitals and all these things. So there's always going to be work, but there's no one that has an interest in doing these things. A lot of people are going to college and realizing that when you go to college, most of the people that go to college leave college in debt, and they also end up getting a degree and getting a job that has nothing to do with their degree. If you get into the union you don't pay the union to go to learn anything. The union itself pays you. They pay you for you to learn. The difference between going to the union is when you get done with your apprenticeship, you'll be making money the whole time. And once your apprenticeship is over with, you'll be getting your top scale, and you won't have money. You won't have any debt from going to school and learning this trade. But when you go to college, you're in college probably not doing a job that's related to your degree, and you're physically working to put yourself through college, or you're borrowing money to get this degree. And once you get out, you're not going to make a bunch of money and you have a bunch of debt. So for anybody that's out there that has any questions about getting into the trades or is looking to change up their life and change something up and find a new purpose, or they just don't know what they want to do, or they've been thinking about getting into the trades, go ahead and hit me up at savagerecovery@gmail.com and get in contact with me, and I can totally put you in touch with people in the unions and the halls and whatnot so you can get started on filing your paperwork and stuff like that. But like going into the electrical trade was one of the best decisions that I have ever done in my entire life. And if myself can make a decent living as a multiple time felon and a recovering heroin addict, then anyone can do it. Anyone can do it. Like, if it wasn't for being in the trades, I don't know what I'd be doing or where I'd be at. Because I know for a fact, making the kind of money that I make, I don't know many jobs that I would have been able to do without a high school diploma and as a felon. Like, I really didn't have, like, my work experience prior to getting sober was working for a few months here and a few months there from getting arrested. And I didn't really start working. Like, I was a tree trimmer when I was like 18, 19 years old. And I worked for like 7-8 months and we got laid off. And that was common in the tree trimming company, or when it came to tree trimmers, people get laid off constantly. It's a constant thing. And then after that, I didn't really have a job. I sold meat door to door, but that's just a bunch of pirates and trucks selling meat. And then once I started catching felonies, I started working in kitchens. And I never could really keep a job for that long because obviously I was getting arrested and I was a drug addict. So I was busy doing other things. But when I got sober, like the first 2 jobs that I had is I was doing roofing, and I was roofing, and then I got the opportunity to become an electrician, and I took it. And I can honestly tell you that becoming an electrician was the best opportunity that I've ever taken in my life. If it wasn't for that, like, I seriously don't know what I'd be doing, like, absolutely at all, because I just don't know what I'd be doing. I don't know what I could make this type of money doing. And it's pretty nice to be able to build stuff. Like, it totally feeds into the whole male mindset of seeing a problem, fixing it, and building something. It totally works into a man's nature to do these things. So if you, like I said, if you guys aren't sure about what you want to do, or if you guys have been thinking about the trades, get a hold of me, email me. You can message me on Instagram, and I'll try to answer your questions and put you guys into the right direction. But I definitely think it's important for younger guys to start looking into the trades, because we need men, we need labor, we need hands. We absolutely need hands. There's not enough people, and there's not enough people that want to show up and work. But this was just a short live stream, guys. I appreciate anyone that came and joined. As always, if you could do me a favor, hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed. As always, guys, stay savage.